Hey guys, it's your girl Mulan here, and today I want to talk about why, in my opinion at least, this is just my opinion, on black families lacking at mental health. It just always being ignored in black families. One, I've experienced this with myself, and I have friends who have as well, and people in general. Like people go through things, and it's always just ignored in black families. Um, in my opinion, I have my notebook here because I took some notes I just want to talk about. So the first one is they always get speaking your mind mixed with disrespect, and that's a huge problem. So for example, let's just say I don't know, your mom or your dad did something to you. I don't know, let's say they threw your bike out. They told you it was time to get rid of your bike, it's old, and then you start crying and you're really upset and you're like, oh my god, why did you throw my bike away, etc. And they're just like, who are you talking to? You're disrespectful, all that ignorant, stuff. And it's not about that person, it's not about your child being disrespectful. All your child was just trying to express that you hurt their feelings, that you threw out their bike. So I'm saying with black families, they don't see it like that. Well, not all of us, but most of the time that's how it is for us. 'Cause I know I got brought up that way. Like, I know I couldn't vent to my mom about anything because the type of attitude she had when I was a child, it was like, she don't care. Like, she was so mean to the point to where you don't want to vent to her because you're scared of what, you're scared of how she might react. Like, I know when I would be depressed growing up and things like that, I would just deal with that and eat it up on my own, and that comes from never, like, that's another note, so I'm gonna get into it. But that just comes from, you never showing your kid any type of care or loving, so they're not gonna feel comfortable enough to vent to you. I don't know if you had a parent, but I know I had a parent growing up. I got beat so much growing up. I got a lot of beatings. And I wasn't innocent, I'm every kid, do little bad things, but sometimes I would get beat for stupid things. Like, I would never forget it, right? My mother's child and her son, my mother's daughter and her son, right? One time, I would never forget this. I remember it like it was yesterday, and I probably was like 8 years old or something like that. I know I was very young, still in elementary school. And they threw eggs all over the floor. Right? And then when my mom got home, she was really mad, like, who did this, etc. And they pointed the finger at me, and I got beaten. I got my ass whooped. She didn't give us no regular beatings. She used to beat us with extension cords, leather belts. That hurts. Picture getting hit with an extension cord. You ever see the two cords behind the cable box? It's like those white cords. She used to take those out and beat us with that. Well, me at least. They got beaten too, but honestly, no funny shit, her two daughters honestly got beat the most, in my opinion, compared to her boys. And that's another topic about moms favoring their boys. That's a whole nother video. If y'all want a video on that, let me know. But yeah, so that's just an example. I used to just, so if you, for example, if you get beat a lot or something like that, you're not going to feel comfortable venting to your parent because they're so mean. You don't feel safe. You're scared of how they might react. They might tell you shut up. You might get in trouble. You might have to go on timeout because you're talking too much. And that's an example of how you can lack mental health, because now I'm going through this mental issue alone because I don't feel comfortable venting to anyone growing up in the family, right? So tip number 2, well, not tip, but here's another point, another example. Some parents don't listen. So meaning you can have, for example, you can try to talk to your parent and they don't want to hear what you have to say. Sometimes I've seen people get accused of, oh, you just want attention. I know a girl who tried to commit suicide, and her mom told her that she just wanted attention. So you don't even think to try to hug your kid and try to ask your kid, what's going on, baby? What's wrong with you? Why would you try to harm yourself? Instead of being there for your child, you're just like, oh, you want attention, you do anything for attention. That's more than toxic at this point. And that didn't happen to me. That was a friend, like someone I know. Yeah. So that's just horrible. That has no type of care in the world. You're basically showing your child you don't care. You're telling them, oh, you try to commit suicide because you want attention. You just want all this attention. That's the most grimiest thing you could say to your child. Well, one of them. So here goes another whatever you want to call that point, right? So people love quoting, thou shalt honor their parents, but parents also avoid saying this part also that's in the Bible. It says, do not provoke the child, or you shall not be honored. Do not provoke, hold on, for the toxic parents in the back who love to, tell their kids, yo, you're ungrateful, you don't appreciate me, but you know for a fact you treated your kid bad all their life, and now that they're older and away from you, you want to show them love. Let me say it again for you. Do not provoke the child, or you should not be honored. So a lot of parents, they don't tell you that part, but I know for me, which sometimes I would get into it with my mom, she would always throw that in my face. The Bible says, what does it say about the parents again? Oh, thou shalt honor their parents, something like that. But you never mentioned that part, about how you're supposed to not provoke me and etc. Or you should not expect to be honored. Because I don't have like hate for my mom, but I can admit that, I don't have the best relationship with her, and I don't care to have one, but that's because of what I've been through. I never felt loved as a kid, so it's not that I'm ungrateful, I'm just speaking my truth. But we're not getting into me, I'm just using my stories and other stories as an example. But every story I'm telling you about myself is very true. I did get beat with extension cords and leather belts. Yeah. So that can definitely mess up your mental. You know what I'm saying? Getting beat. I understand that sometimes you may have to discipline your child, but the way I was getting beat, it was too much. I don't even touch my children. I don't even beat them like that. Most they probably get a little pow pow. A little sit down. But I'm not gonna get a wire from the cable box or a leather belt because that leaves marks. I used to have marks on myself. So here goes another one. Some don't talk to their children. For example, when I say they don't talk to their children, let's say your child comes from school, and did you ask your child how their day was? What did they learn today? And what made them happy today, etc. Just trying to get to know your child. That lacks mental health, because just you asking your child that will show your child, my mom really cares about me. She's always asking me how my day was. She's always asking me how I feel. She's always asking me what's going on and how am I feeling today. How was my day going? Little things like that can avoid kids out here committing suicide, because most of the time they don't feel love. I see stories where, they committed suicide because they're getting bullied, etc. But I always felt like, damn, I wish someone was there for that baby, because this baby must have felt alone to where you just took your life like that. I would be hurt, like, damn, my child didn't even come to me. But you gotta look at yourself. Did you ever make that normal in your household? Because if it's not normal, your child's not gonna ever do it. Like, I know, like, again, I never vented to any of my parents because that wasn't normal in our household. She didn't do that. And here's the last one. Not checking up on them. And also lack of love. So, just telling your kid every day as soon as they come out the womb. Because I know for me, the first time I heard my mom say that she loved me is when I moved out her house and I was 18. And of course I didn't believe you. Like, she say it sometimes here and there, but I honestly don't believe that she loved me, and that's because of the things I've been through. And also, you have never showed me that. It's just like a relationship. You could be dealing with a man or a woman who treat you bad, and they're always like, oh, I love you, I love you. Like, your actions don't say. Like, it's hard to believe you love me when you never defend me. You allow your kids to, you know, try to bash me or make up lies on me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that just doesn't look like love. And I could go on, the list goes on. But yeah, mental health is really important, and it needs to be talked about more in Black families. You know, I know for a fact I don't want my kids to go through anything that I've been through. I've been through struggles. I've been through starvation just because, you know, I didn't have a parent who was kind enough to know, you know, send, you know, money with your child when they go to school. You know, you go to school hungry, and you know, you see all your friends, they got money because their parents care about them, their parents love them, their parents want to make sure they eat. But you got a kid like me who won't have that, or if she did give me money, it would be like $5, and you had to use that for breakfast, and that was lunch, and you don't want school lunch because everybody knows school lunch is nasty, so you're just starving. But if you have good friends, you're not gonna starve, because luckily I did at the time. Luckily I did, but not all the time, because I was always too embarrassed to go to them, like, you know, oh, can I, you know, I don't like to do it, because I shouldn't have to do it. I didn't ask to be on this earth, so why am I struggling? And that's how I feel about my kids. They're not gonna struggle. They're not gonna struggle at all. Oh no, they situated, and they're always gonna be situated. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. I just feel like, you know, mental health should be talked about more in Black families. You should be checking on your kids, loving on your kids, and that way your kids could give you back that same energy. You can't expect love as a parent when you show zero love to your child. You can't expect the love from them because they wasn't even taught love. They wasn't, in this household, they wasn't even shown love. I know I come from a dysfunctional household. You know, there's zero love there. You know, it's all phony and fake. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you get notified when my Mulan uploads. Thank you so much for watching.